All right, today we're going to be working with subtracting integers. Subtracting integers. One thing the simplest way to explain how to subtract with integers is by saying add the opposite. That's going to be kind of like our rule. So our rule is actually going to be add the opposite. Now let me go into that a little bit more in detail. Let's start off with this problem. 20 minus a negative 6. Well, you really can't subtract with integers. So what you need to do is go ahead and add the opposite. And what I mean by that is you're going to change your subtraction problem into an addition problem. So that's where the add comes in. The opposite would be this one. What is the opposite of a negative 6? Well, it's a positive 6. So that comes in where add the opposite. And your first number is actually going to stay the same. Now, you have an addition problem. So 20 plus positive 6 is going to give you 26. Now, let's use those same numbers, but in different forms. This time, let's say negative 20 minus a negative 6. Again, you can't really subtract when you have integers, so you're going to have to add the opposite. So I'm going to keep the first number the same. I never mess with that first number. The first number always stays the same. And then I'm going to add the opposite. So add opposite. Opposite of a negative 6 would be a positive 6. Now this goes back to adding integers. A negative 20 plus a positive 6. I can't put those together because they're different. I have negatives and I have positives. So I can't put those together. So the difference between 20 and 6 would be 14. And I have more negatives than I do positives. So I have a negative 14. All right, let's try another one. We're going to still use those same numbers. This time, we're going to have a negative 20 minus 6. Subtracting with an integer. Remember, can't really do that. So we're going to have to add, what's the opposite of 6? You're right, it's a negative 6. And then, of course, my first number still stays the same. Well, now I have a negative 20 plus a negative 6. I can put my negatives together, and 20 and 6 give me 26. And I keep my negative sign. So you're really going back to your adding integers after you add the opposite. All right, let's try another one. Again, we're going to use the same numbers so that you can see the difference of those. All right, this time, let's do 20 minus 6. Do I need to add the opposite? I could. It's not mandatory because we all know that 20 minus 6 is 14. Pretty simple. You did that years ago. But let's go ahead and use that same problem. And let's see what happens if we do add the opposite because we have a subtraction problem. Well, first number stays the same. Then I'm going to add, what's the opposite of 6? Say negative 6. Now I have 20 plus a negative 6. I have positives, I have negatives. Can't put those together because they're not the same. But what I could do, find the difference between them, and I get 14. Do I have more positives or more negatives? You're right, I have more positives. So look, we still get the same answer. Hope this makes a little bit more sense to you, and I will see you next time.